I'm in. Okay, we're hacked in. I hope everyone's day is going good. I hope your day finds you well, he said. Yeah. Just gonna get stuff loaded up here. We got to go over to our source control and pool something. We've got some stuff that I did back in the back at the house, not in the office. Fake. So yeah, so I hope everyone's doing well. I've had some discoveries about potentially how to go about marketing a game like this. But that's a talk for another time. Yeah. So, we're still working on movement. This is going to be a bit, I got to tell you, last stream was rough. Nothing about this stream is going to be any better. Some sort of Windows Mac thing here that this is saying something's wrong with the project file when nothing has changed. I've even added it to the commit and it's like, what are you talking about? Everything's fine. Okay. I know there was something in, I was going to do a little bit of a work in, do file, new window. I know there's some sort of training thing here. Learn the fundamentals. Here we go. Editor playground. Redefine your editing skills. So, we'll do a little bit of the playground stuff here. In Core Editor in VS Code is packed with features. This page highlights a number of them and lets you interactively try them out through the use of a number of embedded editors. For full details on editor features for VS Code, head over to our documentation. Oh, wow, it's in here. Okay. Using multi-line cursors allows you to edit multiple parts at once, greatly improving your productivity. Try the following actions in the code below. Box selection. Press any combination of Shift down arrow, Shift right arrow, and up or left to select a box. Okay. Shift Alt while selecting text. What's the difference? Oh, that's Shift Control. Ew. Ooh. What? Okay. But how about with the keyboard? You can also press Shift Alt while selecting text. Add a cursor. Control Alt. There we go. Okay. i.e. select one instance of background color and press Control Shift L. Now you can replace all instances by simply typing. Nope. What are we talking about? Control Shift L. Performance logs saved. Thanks, AMD. What? Select one instance of a string. So we want to select Control Shift L. Now you can replace all instances. I can't because AMD is being a smartass. Why is AMD doing that? Tell me why. Obsidian streaming. I got a late start today. It's screwing everything up. Baba. Okay, I want to stop this AMD thing. How do I do that? Control Shift L. But only when I'm here. Control Shift L. Now it's not doing it. Okay. So how about we select it all? Control Shift L. Now it's doing it. Thanks, AMD. That means some crap is running that I don't want running. Now I have to look around and try to find it. External events client module. AMD software. Internal events module. Adrenaline Edition. AMD Crash Defender. Wow, so much cool stuff just running on my computer. And I don't know what it does or why it's there. This is great. Try it again. Select, Control Shift L, and it's still doing it. Thanks so much, AMD. Clutch, AMD. All right, let's go back to Task Manager. AMD host application. Let's in that. External events service module. I feel like that could be something. Adrenaline Software Edition command line interface. That's not ending. All right, now let's try it again. Highlight a bunch of this crap. Control Shift L. And okay. Create cursors on all occurrence of a string. What? Create cursors on all occurrences of a string. Oh, okay. So they want me to do Control Alt down arrow. Now Control Shift L. Now when you type, no. I am doing Control Shift. Do they mean like this? I don't know. Point is, I can do that. Okay. That's our learning for today. Thank you, VS Code. Now, let's see if I can remember. We're going to go like this. Nope. Alt. Nope. Up, 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 up. There we go. Okay. All right. So, sorry about that. Let's actually do some work here. Okay, so what's been going on? What have I been up to? Well, I've been working on this actor scene here, and we're getting it to look a little bit more like the actual game, which is nice. I got that going for me, which is nice. I'm learning a bit about I'm learning a bit more about the GUI stuff in Godot, namely the way that fonts and themes work. Now, I thought, for instance, here, stats font was using, see, it's loading dynamic font. We don't want that. We want it to load the stats font. So let's go back over to refresh this, and then we're going to choose quick load. And then we have our fonts in here, stats. Now, this is one thing that I've learned. This stuff here, any of this stuff you change here is going to change it for all instances that this font is used in for the dynamic font. So in this case, stats, we're going to have be quiet, and we're going to go with, where is it? In here, even this stuff. So outline color, we're going to make black. Okay. Outline sign is going to be this. You can see a preview of what it looks like down there. Bitmap. Not sure what that's about. I've read the description, but its behavior does not seem to be what I would think it would be. Now, Here we're loading stats font. Okay. This is what we want to see. Now, why is this the way it is? Theme. So let's go to our theme here. This is our default theme. Let's look up font. Here's the font. And it says it's loading dynamic font. This sounds like BS, but we have changed it on the dynamic font. So in theory, if we go into this dynamic font here, we reset these, it should only do it on the right side. And it's not, ladies and gentlemen, it's not. It is not. So, if we choose to delete this, what is it going to get mad about? Theme and stats font. What do you know? Let's go back to stats font. Now, once again, it's claiming. Oh, I see what I'm doing wrong here. How do I check? All right, we're going to reset it. Going to quick load stats. Okay. Now, here we should have an outline. So is this not using stats font? Is that our problem? It is using stats font. Why? Why is it doing it on the right side and not the left? Close and reopen. See, this is the stuff. This is just killing progress because I want to learn this stuff. And I said today my stream says that it's going to be about movement. Have you guys seen anything about movement today? Because I sure haven't. I sure have not. So, I'm just being a dummy, banging my head against the wall on this. But I want to have a better understanding of this stuff. I got to. Okay, so we're back here. We're going to HP. Gonna scroll down here. Theme. Claims that it's using stats font. Claims that it's using stats font. We see the preview here is correct. But why are we not seeing the right stuff here? One wonders. One wonders why. One is not seeing this correctly. Let's see. Mayhaps it's something in the override. La Bleu. There's the font color. So font outline. Is this what's doing it? Now see, this looks like La Bleu. And there's shadows. There's fonts. Wait a minute. Ah! We found it. We got him, boys. We got him. Figured it out. Okay, so font clear. There we go. Now we're using, so the font isn't being overridden. Overridden. Now can we reset this? Yeah, it looks like we can. What is this about? For the La Bleu. I don't know. Maybe that's the outlines more of the shadow stuff. I don't know. Okay, so we figured it out. Good on us. Didn't take no for an answer. Beat our way through it. It's a brute force Yankee way. Just keep banging our head against the wall. Migraines be damn. Early death. Who cares? We got it done. Is that you, Darren? Tolomite, are you in the chat? I feel his presence. I've felt something I've not felt since. I knew it. I knew it. Congratulations, man. I'm so proud. I'm really happy for you. What are you going to do about the cats? What are you going to do about the cats, man? How are you going to do it? Have you figured that part out? We're thinking about renting an RV to get them there. I have a tip. It sounds crazy. So if you were to get, you look at the prices of leaving California for stuff like that, renting it, it's so expensive. But we were actually thinking about doing this. If you were to rent a U-Haul from Vegas and drive it back into California, it's way cheaper. So that's something you might want to consider looking into. Hi, Mama. It's a bit of a mess in here. I'm sorry. Donaldi. Is that supposed to be lurk or is that a joke? Work. Okay. Okay. We're selling almost everything rather than moving it. Yeah, like I said, the math is the size of the item, so you do it by square foot. So you were to take the price of, say, a U-Haul, figure out the cost per square foot inside of it. Cubic foot. Think of that item as taking up cubic feet. Then you do the math on that and you go, is it worth taking it, or is it actually worth less than that cubic foot cost? Is it sentimental and all those choices that you have to make over that? But regardless, you go and say, okay, then it's not worth taking because it actually costs us money to take it rather than replacing it when we get there. Yeah. An RV rental would be much cheaper for moving the animals and a few things. Yeah, you could buy a bunch of crates and stuff like that. Okay, so now that that's worked out, this is what the battle system's starting to look like. It's a little janky with some stuff stretching. I'm not expecting it to do that. So I've got to figure out some stuff about how to do textures in terms of for like the portrait and stuff. Like it shouldn't be stretching like that. But we're not doing the battle system. What we're doing is the battle chooser, which actually then runs, let's go in here, battle staging we're calling it. Now let's rename this. Because we're going to get rid of these spaces. Spaces everywhere. We don't want spaces in anything. So battle staging, right now we're not seeing anything, which is a bad sign. Let's run it. Cannot preload resource at path battle system actor. Okay, so that's some scripting issues, right? So let's go ahead and go in here. And we don't want that space. Battle system actor. And let's rename test area to have no spaces. Rename that. Battle staging, save it again. Okay, it's mad. Close. Reopen. And try again. Brrr. Attempt to call connect on null instance. Actor. Okay, so again, I'm going through and I'm just ripping stuff out, so it's breaking a bunch of things. But we're going to get there. We're going to get there, boys. So this connect function, one of these connect functions, which ones is it? Line 13, this one here. Attack, connect, attack, press. So we're going to get rid of these here because we're not going to be doing any of the attacking stuff through this anymore. We're going straight to the real deal. So let's reload. Okay. All right. So this is looking better. Look at that font already. I mean, everything's off. You know, all the stuff is squished. But the rendering of the font is so much better now. I'll take it. So, but the problem is I was trying to do everything in a control. Specifically, I was trying to use this scroll container. My hope was to populate it with all of the actors. And then programmatically tell it which one to slide over and show. That just ain't working. It's not working. It's not doing what I want it to do. And so we're going to need to fix it. Now we should be loading our save data. And then for every party member, we should be instancing a new actor. And then setting our character to that value. And then adding it to child, which means that's when this fires. The ready statement. Now this should be firing here, but it does not appear to be. So let's Can we do a breakpoint? Or is our brakes working right now? Let's find out. We'll break here. And, well, there's a couple of problems with that idea. Whoops. Wrong thing open. Actor. Okay, we're going to print the loaded statement. That means that, okay, it did load the data. Let's print the data. We'll just print character. Should be a resource. It is. There's unique resources in there. That's a good sign. But question, why is none of this correct? Let's look at our save file. See, we're doing so many things here. I know I'm going crazy. I'm saying, hey, we're doing movement, and then nothing. Nothing that I'm doing right now appears to have anything to do with that. So our brave and our faith are determinant for some of those values of our HPMP, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong. It's been so long. It's been so long. It's been a while since I've streamed, guys. Usually I try to hit it on the weekends, but sometimes we're doing so much family stuff, it's just not possible. Looks like I'm drinking that Star Trek drink. It's green. What is it? It's green. Okay. So let's look at the character actor. Now our HPMP raw is incorrect. So that could be part of the problem. The setters on these didn't fire the way they should. And that's because we didn't set the gender manually. Perhaps, mayhaps. Go back. There we go. Okay, we got some stats we'd like to see. So now in theory, if we run battle staging, one of our guys should have some stats. Mayhaps. Negative, Ghost Rider. Wait, Brave and Faith. Okay. So some of the stats are not being loaded completely. Right. All right. But we're making some slow but sure. Slow but sure. Okay. We're getting there, guys. We're getting there. So what am I doing right now, you may be wondering? This is the staging area for the battle. Normally there'd be some squares in here, but we're not showing those because we're just running it to test loading this data, not loading the actual stage we're going to do a combat on. So let's look over at actor and see what numbers we're actually putting in. We do have our current MP and HP. Those are different than, so let's go to data models, actor, and then look up current MP, which has no setter and is not being set. Okay. Here's what I think needs to happen. I think we need some sort of, probably do it on ready. We need to set the HP and the MP. Now, if you guys will excuse me, I'm going to do some more learning today. I would like to learn how to make it so that when I type a command set git, it asks me to give it what it wants to be called. Or we can highlight this and then choose some way of generating code. Now, I believe this is possible. What's refactor do? No refactoring is available. Okay. Somehow. I don't know what to call it though, but let's see if we can discover this, because what I need to be able to do is pop out a getter and setter like that, right? That's what I want to be able to do. I want to be able to whip around on this stuff and start making games faster. So go over here. So it means you got to do a little bit of housework, a little bit of house cleaning. I don't know what to call it. Oh, by the way, we need to clear our cache. Oh my. We don't want you guys to see my browsing habits now, do we? No. Look at that. 49 minutes saved. Look at how many trackers and ads have been blocked. Bandwidth. 3 gigs. Tremendous. Tremendous. Just beautiful. All right. So let's see. VS Code. I don't know what to call it. Inject code? I don't know. Inject is a very hacky term. Inject, debug injected code. No. Inject code. VS Code. Code blocks. We'll call it that. Code blocks. VS Code code blocks. Saving the editor to prevent overriding. Blah, 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 blah. Code blocks versus code blocks is the name of the thing. Blocks code. How to close and expand a block of code. Selecting a block of code. What's happening? What's going on? What is that? How do I check? I don't know what's going on. There's a beep. I gotta follow or something. Thank you. Hang on. I gotta figure this out. Let me get chat going. Chat is going. I'm sorry. On all desktops. Thank you for the follow. Let me get my Twitch up here so that I can see who's doing what. I'm out of practice right now. Deep Entertains, how's it going? A raid? It's not a follow, it's a raid. I was watching you the other day. How you doing? Thanks for the raid. Trying to learn how to make custom code blocks for VS Code. Yeah. Yeah, I got you on the follow, if I'm not mistaken. What's yeah. So what I want to be able to do is I want to be able to highlight this code here and then just go, let's make a setter and a getter, and for it to go, okay, I'm going to type this out here, you know, based off of this as a variable. And then I'm going to go down to the bottom of your file and then add a setter in there. And in this particular instance, it would be a specific kind of setter. We would also want to add an emit signal changed because we're doing a resource setter. So it might need to go and look up here and know, oh, it's a resource, so we're going to do a little extra flavor flav. So this should be possible, right? But I'm not familiar with like scripting or what it would be called in VS Code or anything like that. So I'm kind of looking around. There's run a build task. No, that's not going to be it. Configure task. There's got to be a way. There's got to be a way. But I feel like calling it a code block seems to be what I would think it would be called or something like that. But anyways, so what I'm working on, guys, real quick, I'll just explain, is we're working on a battle system here. We're working on movement. We're trying to recreate. I could show you really quick here. What we're trying to recreate is Final Fantasy Tactics. Trying to recreate. When you're getting into a battle in the game, I don't know what else to call it. Needless to say, you pick your party members. You have this little thing here that shows up telling you their stats. Man, some of these screenshots are muddy. And you have your list of party members, and you select where they're starting on the battlefield, and then you start the battle. So we've got a bunch of stuff loading properly. We've got a save file that keeps your party members, and all that kind of stuff is in working. We've got a bunch of data structures and models for the characters and all their stats and all that stuff. All that stuff is there. We're trying to get to playable, right? But meanwhile, I'm stubborn, and so I'm just like beating my head against the wall, trying to do these other things because I want to be a little bit more effective at producing code quickly. I just don't know what to call it. VS Code block. Selecting a block of code. VS Code custom snippets. Maybe that's it. Custom snippets. Mayhaps. What is this? Oh, this is a plugin. Is a code snippet for creating your own snippets. Snippet. All right. VS Code snippets. Try that. Create your own snippets. Snippets in VS Code. User-defined snippets. Here we go. Code snippets are templates that make it easier. Blah, 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 blah. Okay. In Visual Studio Code, snippets appear in the IntelliSense control space, mixed with other suggestions as well as a dedicated snippet picker, insert snippet from the command palette. There's also support for tab completion. So this might not be quite it. Because this is for code completion. Now this would be useful actually for comments. Because I like to do those big blocky comments. So maybe I could create my own snippet for that. Below is an example of a for loop snippet for JavaScript. So it does look for a prefix. Snippet code. Scope so that only relevant snippets are suggested. Okay. Language and global. Project snippets. Okay. Snippet syntax. The body of a snippet. This is interesting. All right. You have a good one. I understand. Long streams. Gotcha. And I totally get if your viewers are like, what is this guy doing? I'm leaving. So much love to everybody out there, though. I appreciate the raid as well. Variables can insert the value of a variable when a variable isn't set. The following variables can use the currently selected text or the empty string. See, this is what we want. Okay, but how do we initiate a snippet if we're selecting text? Okay. Code snippets. Snippet syntax. The line number, line index, file name, base, workspace name. Okay, this is all good. Cursor index. This could also be useful. Inserting random values. Block comment. Oh my. We're inserting block comments honoring the current language. Oh. Okay. Variable transforms. Okay. Grammar. Text mates. Key bindings to snippets. Here we go. Custom key bindings. All right. So that would be how we could do selecting a text. We'll invoke insert snippet command, but instead of prompting you to select a snippet, it will insert the provided snippet. Define the custom key binding. So then there's the insert snippet command. Okay, so I could highlight text, insert snippet. We can grab the selected text, which in this case, so we would be highlighting this. We would somehow execute insert snippet. So here it is. Okay. Blah blah blah. Blah blah. Create your own snippets. Below is a for loop. Okay. To create or edit your own snippets, select User Snippets under File Preferences. Okay. File Preferences. Configure User Snippets. New snippets. A new global snippet file. CD script. Add. Oh, does it not like spaces? Add. Better. Okay. We're getting there. And then select the language. By the language identifier for the snippet should appear. Oh, okay. Okay. Scope. File. Let's do this again. Preferences. Configure user. Existing. New. Is there GD script? Yes. Okay. So now this is place snippets for GD script here. Each snippet is defined under a snippet name. Okay. And then they give an example syntax here. So we'll just copy the example. And we'll get rid of the comments. And so the prefix log. So now in theory, if I were to type log, what's going to happen? Console log something. So if I type LO, boom. Okay. So that's an example of it. Okay, and that's where my cursor ends up. Okay, so let us continue on. So this would be our selected text. Now, how do we put code at the end of the file, one wonders? One wonders. So we could do a block comment start and end. So we could do like this. Let's go back over here. And it would be block comments end like this, and block comments start like this. And then we could write prefix could be comment. All right. Description. Add block comments. Let's just see if this works, because I'm going to use this all the time if I can. Comments. Block comments start and end. Okay, so that didn't do what we were expecting. Example. Oh, we need the dollar signs. Okay, so let's go back. Go over here. Put the dollar signs in. All right. Right again. Comments. Ah. But is that really the block comment? Is that acceptable? And I didn't know that was a block comment for line comments. Let's try a line comment. The line comment's just a hash. I did not know this. I'm learning something new, a bunch of new stuff right away. So we could do hash and another hash. And then we could, okay, let's try it. Comments. There we go. So if we wanted to do, because I was doing a syntax a little different, but I did not know you could do a block comment like this. I had no idea. And it sticks out, at least in the linter that I'm using. I like it. It works. So then, how do I do a new line? New line body. New lines and embedded tabs will be formatted according to the context. Blah, blah, blah. So do I actually have to put the new line in like this? No, see, it doesn't like that. So there's got to be an escape character for new line. Is that a T? Is that tab? What does this do? What's that for? I don't know. I'm going to do what I think new line would be, which is /n. /n. Oops. And then put the 1 in there. Okay, let's try it now. This is cool. I'm having fun. All right. Comment. Boom. Hey. All right. Cool. So let's. But instead of line comment, we're gonna do that block stuff. So. Where was it? Block. All right. Well, we're getting. I'm totally getting side. I'm in a like. This is like Inception sidetracked right now. There's like I'm like 10 levels deep in my sidetrack. But that's okay because we're doing something useful. And let's make this. Let's do this a couple times. 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we'll do it 5 here as well. 2, 3, 4, 5. Save it, and now we'll try putting in a comment. And yeah, I think we could do even more though. We could probably 3 more times. So there's probably a way to do this doubling. You could probably do some sort of like funky math thing too that I don't know about. 2, 3, because this is this is ugly. This reminds me of like the basic days. But we'll take it. Come on. 1, 2. Okay. So now if we try comment block, comments, boom. All right. Not bad. We'll take it. Sweet. So now I got comment block, which is something I did want. Comments block. Add a block comments. Okay. Let's see. Now, how do we move the cursor around? Let's see. Body. Body has 2 scope, prefix. Okay. Choice. So you can have choices, placeholders. Okay. Tab stops. With tab stops, you can make the editor cursor move inside a snippet. Use $1 and $2 to specify cursor locations. The number is the order in which the tab stops will be visited, where 0 denotes the final cursor position. Multiple occurrences of the same tab stops are linked and updated in sync. Snippet syntax. The body of the snippet can be used to special constructs control. Language, snippet scope, prefix, body. 1 or more lines of content, which will be joined as multiple lines upon insertion. Description is an optional description of the snippet body. Or that's a const of. See, this is we got to be doing this stuff. Yes, a for loop one. Oh my gosh. Because right now when you do a for, like I'd love to be able to just, yeah. Oh, good God. I'm going to have fun with this. Oh, this is good stuff. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Sorry, I'm having a little bit too much fun with this. Yeah. Oh, yeah, we're going to have some fun. Okay. But it's funny because this isn't anything that I wanted to do. I wanted to make setters easier. And right now, I'm tab stop. I don't know what any of this stuff is. Key bindings to snippets. You can package snippets for use in VS Code. Okay. Can I remove snippets from IntelliSense? Yes. Snippets, settings, sync, current time. Body prefix. So these are the two prefixes we're looking for. Additional body. So I really can't make it move the cursor around the way I'd like. So if I were to do this right now, the only way I could make it happen off the top of my head is that you would select this. We can't even get the cursor to move over here. Selected text, current line. The contents of the current line. This might work. If we replace the contents of the current line, is that possible? Let's see. Current line. Following variables could be used. You can insert the value of a variable when the variable isn't set. It's default. With name. You can insert the value of a variable. When the variable isn't set, default or empty string is inserted. Okay, so we need a $. Variable's unknown, so I can set a default. That's what that's saying. When a variable is unknown, that is, its name isn't defined, the name of the variable is inserted and is transformed into a placeholder. Clipboard, cursor index, comment, start, line comment, scope, JavaScript. Okay, so that's prefix hello. So we really can't, I can't like reset a line. Replaces the dot or the underscore. These are transforms. Snippet body to illustrate. Key bindings. Snippet guide. Let's just search VS Code, replace snippets, this line. See, I'm wondering, here's what I'm wondering. Can we do keyboard shortcut equivalents in here? So could I, is there an end of line, for instance, that I could do? And have it go to the end of line first and then start writing the code. Or do I need to set it up so that I write setter, we hit tab, it asks us the name of the setter and the type, and then we answer those, and then it pops out all of this, the set get, and then we could do set get. Let's do that. All right, that's how it's going to work. And I don't know if we can overwrite. We're about to see if I can overwrite an existing thing here. So the prefix will be set get. Set get. And then what we're going to do is we're going to have to figure this out here, something like this, right? So, and what is this, the body, why is it in an array? Those are the elements. So if we're asking for something, can we keep it as a variable? Placeholders. Another and another. With tab stops, you can make the editor cursor move inside a snippet. Use 1 and 2 to specify cursor locations. The number is the order that the tab stops will be visited, whereas 0 denotes the final cursor location. Okay. So why is there a 2 there? Is that to get out of... Okay, so if I do comment, I type something, and then I go like that, it takes me to the bottom. Okay, we're learning. All right, so let's do this. So we're gonna tab stops. 1, 2, another, and another. Secget is going to, it's going to ask us for the name, and we're going to be setting the type. Okay, so it'll say var and then number 1, and this will be placeholders. So these can be changed. Let's try it. Foo. Let's just see if we can overwrite this setget. So we do have a code snippet. Setget foo. And why is it doing it in... Okay, so that's not what I'm expecting to have happen. Tab stops like that. Oh, $sign. Stop doing that. $1, 2. Okay. Now we'll go back. Set get foo. We change it. Go to the next one. Okay, we're getting there. Foo. Then we put a space, and we need to do colon space type, and then the... Now, how do we base something off of one of the placeholders? Placeholders can be nested. Choice. Placeholders can have a choice value. Okay. Variables. Or name default. You can insert the value of a variable. When the variable isn't set, it's... Okay, so can we grab a placeholder for a variable? Name default. I'm presuming you can. And I'm presuming the way it works is you go like this. So type, and then we do setget, and then set underscore foo. Let's just see if that works. So now we'll go over here, setget. Oh shit! This is dope! Sorry for cussing. Oh my gosh! Okay. This is so cool! Ah! Oh boy! Alright, so we're gonna put 0 down here because this is where we want to end. Okay? So, oh my gosh. This is cool. Okay. Alright. Alright. So these are lines. That's what this is. That's why there's the array. So then we go like this, and we're gonna make a new line, and this line is going to have our the equivalent of this. So it will be the setter. So it'll be func that with the parentheses value. Oh my gosh, this is dope. Boom. Value the type, so we can explicitly set the type. We're going to return void. I don't have to type any of this anymore. Oh my God. Ah, it's so nice. Colon, right? Then we do another line. And then we're going to say a tab. And we're going to do emit signal, right? Because we're doing it for it. Right now, we're going to presume that we're doing... and this could be an optional choice. I don't know how that would work. Assume that's how you escape. And let's try this out. Oh my gosh. I'm sorry for getting so excited about this, but this is really cool. Setget. Oh Lord. Lord have mercy. Oh. Setget. Taco. Type. Int. Oh, are you seeing this? Oh Lord. Okay. This is so cool. Okay, so we want a new line here. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to put a new line here. And we're going to say, we're going to put our cursor, when we end this, above our setter file, this thing that we made. Or whatever you want to call it. We don't need that comma. Why are we mad down here? What are we mad about? Invalid characters in string. Control characters must be escaped. We're talking about the tab? We're talking about the tab. So how about we do a T then, okay? And then we'll end right above it so we can easily highlight it and move it away when we want to. So let's do this one more time. Setget taco int tab. Boom. Oh, good God. This is cool. Oh, Lord. So we can easily add the getter as well. And then somehow, because we can nest everything and whatnot, we can make it into a choice of whether you're going to add the setter or the getter or both. Right. But for now, I'll keep this. I'll keep that. This is nice. Nice. Argument is never used. Oh, we got to, okay. Almost forgot the most important part of setting the value. Okay, so then the value will be, here's, okay, so it'll be, let's copy this. And we'll go like this, and when we'll say to set foo to the value. So foo equals value. All right. Then, oh, forgot the comma. Oh my gosh, this is so cool. This is, oh Lord. Man, I wish I had done this sooner. Taco. Oh, yeah. Look at that. Oh, my gosh. Okay. Oh, my gosh. So, suffice to say, now we can do this. Setget current HP is an integer. Boom. Done. Okay. Then we gotta, the only other thing we gotta do is move this down. Now I'd like to be able to have it just automatically be injected into the bottom. I don't know how to do that or if it's even possible. There might be a way to write something that's not a snippet to do that. I don't know. There might even be a way to get a snippet to run some other kind of code after you've reached the 0 point. And then it'll just inject it into the bottom of the script. But now we've got a custom, so let's call this setter. So we could just call it, the prefix could be set. Then we could have set get, then we could have get, and so on and so forth. I still would like to be able to highlight something and then have this happen as well. So we'll look into that too. But for now, setter, we need a comma here. And then add setter. Okay. Cool. Okay, so and then current MP, so we'll do set get current MP int. Okay. So lots of stuff to do, just that, and I don't know how to go down to the bottom of the page. I gotta learn that. So now How long have we been going? An hour. An hour to do this. But I've learned something really useful. I'm going to be using this a lot in the future. And it's going to save time when we're doing jams and stuff like that eventually, right? So, and we got to do this for things like for loops and whatnot. And since we're doing this specifically for GDScript, we may be able to publish this into its own extension eventually, which I think some people might find useful. So we'll get rid of this example here. And this has some pretty good docs in here as well. Yeah. Well. Now. So the reason why we're doing this setter and on all that stuff is because we have this emit signal, and that's important for resources because that's going to tell our actor over here that the value has changed and therefore it needs to be updated. Now we're going to set on ready, and we're going to set the values to be 100, the default starting value. And so we will say, in order to fire the setter on self, we'll say self dot current HP equals 100 and self dot current MP equals 100. And now when we go back to that scene, this is why we were doing this in the first place. Now when we go back here, if it's even being set, it isn't currently. Okay. So then we need to go back in here and MP HP amounts. Character HP, and then we have current MP. So this is not firing what I'd expect it to. Print ready and just see when it's happening. Well, this isn't going to really tell us when, but just if. It is not happening. So ready is not firing, even though we have here. We're adding the child. And I think that's when ready would start. Right? So what are we getting wrong here? This is adding the actor scene. This is creating the resource. But ready already fires on this far before, or doesn't at all. It's not at all. Or ready isn't firing. Character resource. Connect character. So after this, we need to get ready to go. So does that mean our leveling would be connecting either? We're connecting a resource. Ready doesn't fire, init does. That's right. There's no ready on a resource. I don't believe. Oops, wrong thing. Yeah. We need to move this into here. So now, if we go... Okay, so we've got our hundreds there. That's good. So that's our starting value. And, or our max. Now this is the other thing is, so max is, let's go. Here. And yeah, we can be higher than that. So the starting HP needs to be calculated differently. But current HP will be the max HP. So do we have a min-max HP? MP raw. If we get HP raw, we haven't even have, yeah, get HP. Go there. Starting HP. Bar starting HP. So we need so this is really, we can think of this as max HP. So we need a current HP. So that's what this is. Okay. We're getting there. Okay. So current HP should equal starting HP, which would be what we're calling HP. So we need to make sure we run the getter again. So we go HP, self MP, and that will be our starting. Okay, so starting HP is raw times the HP multiplier of the current job. Okay, so okay, so we're crashing hard. 208, 80. And what are we mad about? This is fine to be mad. Get HP line right here. It doesn't like something in here, and I'm guessing it's current job PA multiplier. That it's like, what are you talking about? So let's just check and look at our save file. And our save file is bombing out now. Why? So something is because we're running the game. All right, so let's see. Is the stream still going? We still going? We're going. How's everybody doing? It's been a little quiet in there. I don't like it. It's is everyone okay? Are we doing okay? How we doing? Okay, so some of these do not have HP or MPs. None of them do. Oh, because I didn't save it. Okay, so that's why that's happening. Do we have a squire set? We do have a squire set. HP multiplier. Okay, so that's why. Let's just set them all to male. And no, let's get some females in there. What are we talking about? Hey, female. Save. Okay. Now we'll go back and we shall run. Battle staging. Run it. PA multiplier is null. So that's what it doesn't like. What is PA multiplier? Let's go into our save. Oh, still running. How's the stream looking, by the way, guys? Let me check the stats, make sure we're good. A few drop frames, only 0.3% of the entire stream, probably at the start. But we're looking good. 60 FPS, bit rate's solid. Found a workaround for my crappy ISP. T-Mobile, I'm on T-Mobile. Cellular. 5G. And it definitely throttles when you're uploading to Twitch. So the way around that I discovered is if you stream to Restream, and then just stream only to Twitch so you're not breaking the rules. And if you stream to Restream, T-Mobile does not know what you're doing. So they're like, I don't know. Okay, so this one didn't see us select male. So we'll go male. Save that. PA multiplier. Why is it? Okay, let's try again. Battle staging. Run. HP multiplier. Base nil. On base nil. HP multiplier. Go back over to save. Stop the game. Save. HP multiplier is on base nil. HP multiplier on base nil. HP multiplier. Actor. Get. PA. Get HP. Current job HP multiplier. Run it again. Line 273. Current job. SP raw. 273. Get SP. What is it talking about? Is it not saying 263? 280. It's just all over the place right now. 280. Get PA. Run it again. That's 273. SP multiplier. Let's pop it again. SP multiplier. Current job. Let's print this. Stop. Too large. Figure all that out. Function get MA. I mean, we have all of these numbers, so I'm not quite sure. Invalid index on base nil. So how is it not seeing the current job? Let's look at the save file again. And current job is a resource. And we have something called PA multiplier. So let's look at the model for job. There's PA multiplier. Integer. You know what? I think I know what's going on. Let's not have these set. Run it, and it should be fine. Yep. Okay, so the issue isn't so much... The issue is initialization. The issue is that... like on initialization, if I were to say print... We're going to get the same error if I was to say print... current job... PA multiplier. If I did that, yeah, vector 162. Get index. Why didn't it see my change? Regardless, this is happening so quick. That I think that it's not... It's trying to get these values before everything is ready. So what we need to do is we need to delay the connection. So the way you do that is we can do this. We can delay this until ready is finished. So we're going to go and say Godot object. Some sort of way to okay. A signal. Mid signal. Call deferred. String method. Okay. So call deferred. Character changed. So the first time we fire this, it's gonna wait till ready is finished. And I believe that that'll fix this issue. I could be wrong. Let's see. No. Base no. Still doesn't know. I mean, let's say before any of this happens, this seems to be happening on PA multiplier. Let's just say current job. We gotta have a current job. Current. Okay. Actor. 6-3. Up here on get HP. Current job. Up. No prints. No prints. No. So, I mean, I could just say check. It's happening too soon. Because the current job is there. Or is it something about passing? I mean, the character exists. We have a setter for current job. It's loading in the... Okay. I mean, the only way I can think to do this right now is if current job. But then we're going to have an error here. This is starting HP. The getter works. But then this is too early. Is that all it is? Why is it okay with that change? I've only done it one spot. MP just returns equipped MP. So get HP. Okay. So it is this stuff. Current HP equals self HP. So this is happening too soon. So let's go back over here and do call deferred. Calls the method on the object during idle time. So what we could do is method set position and call deferred and the value. So I wonder if the setter is going to fire if we do this. So if I did call deferred here, I know how to spell deferred. Sure I do. 2 R's. I mean, who didn't know that? I mean, come on, guys. Set. We're going to do call deferred set current HP and self.hp. Now let's see if this negative. Let's set HP raw. Get HP. Set JP. Set XP. Get HP. We're doing current. That's our problem. Set current HP. So there's setter for that is down here. Let's just go print. Hello. Let's see if that's firing. Hello is firing. The setter is firing. Go back over to the battle system. Get rid of this call deferred on the character changed because we don't need to do that anymore. And I'll fire that right away. And nothing still. Let's print the value that we're trying to change to. And 0. So we're the correct we're the correct amount. Which is not what we want. We shouldn't be 0. Let's print our HP in our initializer. Print HP. So if we're calling deferred on a setter and the starting value is 0 because we haven't gotten set up yet, then can we nest? Or do we need a function? Here's what we'll do. We'll do a function to set everything up. Table setting. So it'll be something like func set defaults. And that's what'll get called. So call deferred set defaults. Then this will happen. And this will happen. It'll say self current HP. As the guys down under say. They say HP. I'm kidding. I'm just being a jerk. Set defaults. There we go. There we go. Crikey. All right. The first guy is having some problems. I don't know why. He's not too sure about himself. Let's go check him out really quick. 0. What are we mad about? Our Brazen Faith is in there. Is that causing a problem? These other guys don't have any. Mayhaps that's the problem. Let's set the Brazen Faith to 0. Call deferred. Nope. First one is not happy. He has no HP. Why? I don't know yet. So let's move the set defaults into the private section. Private. The setters and getters. Set defaults. What? Oh. Put her in there. Okay, so we're figuring this out. Current HP value. Let's change the gender on this. Set it again. Save. Run. Nothing still. Why? Why? Let's. This. Nothing. Weird. Weird. HP raw. What's our HP raw? What's going on? HP raw. And for HP raw, zeros. Zeros across the board. Why? It's not a getter. We don't need a getter on HP raw. Because HP raw is a value that... Just this guy. He's being weird. We do have a level on him. Do the other guys have levels? Yeah, they do. Curious. Curiouser and curiouser. Why? Why? Why is this happening? Tell me why. Tell me why. Tell me why. Desire. Tell me. New actor. Actor. Quick load the portrait. That's male. And we'll set current job to Squire. Quick load. Fire. Huh. We're good. Okay. Well, I'm not sure what was going on there, but all right. So we're applying an equipped NJP. So what's going on? Why is all this happening for movement? Because we're getting all of our systems going as we're trying to get movement going. This is literally, as soon as we have movement going, we have a game. But in order to get to that point, I'm trying to get all this other stuff. I'm beating my head. I'm just pounding through it like the Hulk. Or the Kool-Aid guy. And I'm just going to get it done. Okay. So we have 5 dudes. What we got to do is get this selector going so that we can go between these and have them appear in the bottom here for us to pick where they go. Now, there's a lot of stuff we're going to want to get set up. We may have to... Now, I've been looking for sprites for tactics that have... tactics sprites that have the walk cycle, but all the rips I've seen have their individual arms and hands separated. So I'm going to have to come up with a way to stitch them back together. And I'm going to want to be able to automate this. And I'm ripping these out this is not what we're going to be using for our game, but I need to have a walk cycle figured out so we can start to have the camera angles and all that stuff going as well. Again, all related to movement, because we need to be able to rotate the camera and select where somebody goes. We need to know where they are facing. So first thing we're going to do here is find Squire. And let's go over here. So yeah, this is the thing. Now, can we copy this image and just open up a sprite? New file. Okay, transparent, yes. Advanced options. Square pixels. Paste. Why are you not really transparent? What? Why? Why? Hit the magic lasso and delete. There we go. Okay, so now we're transparent. Now, what we need to do is figure out our grid so that we can build something. And I don't think Aseprite's going to let us do this the way I'm imagining it. But I'd like to be able to say, hey, all these pieces actually go here for like the arms and everything. And that's how we get the movement stuff. I'm just not sure that that's possible. So close to the walk cycle right here. This is all we really need. Walk cycle's actually pretty genius. But let's figure out our grid first. So, can we set up a grid? Properties. View. Show grid. Okay, so yeah, this is going to be the way these guys ripped it. I don't know. Settings, width. Gotta be like an even number though. If I can even. 12. I don't know. I don't know that I can figure this out. Not without like wasting a lot of time on stream. I just need the damn walk cycle. Final Fantasy Tactics. Here's jobs. Squire. But see, none of these have the walk cycle. But maybe this is enough. Maybe I just use this for now. We don't have the walk cycle. All right, that's what we're going to do. We'll just use the facing directions and go from there. So, I mean, that's going to have to do it. Okay. Okay, so that's what we'll do. Fine. Fine. But we still have the problem of the grid. Because I don't know if the spacing is right. Like we got like this little bit of gap here. I don't know if that's causing a problem or not. So let's try and see if we can get this to line up to a grid. Modify, where do I go? Frame, L properties, is that? View, here we go, grid settings. We could try the wonderful 32. We got. 32 it is. 32 gets us good. Now if 32 is this, then we're looking at maybe 48 tall. Try that. Settings, width, height, 48. A little bit less. So anything. Properties. Cell properties. No. Gosh, this is old man brain firing away here. So 32 is a square. So I have 32 16, so let's do 8 then. Because 32 plus 16 was 48. So let's just do straight up 40. Seems almost right. But we're short on the foot. Was it 42? Was I right on 42, but I put 48 or something? I think maybe I was right. 42. Seems like the gap on the head might be right. Bring it down all the way. Let's bring it down. We got a spacer on the top here. I still know. Grid. 42. 44. Almost to the top of the head. So 44 looks all right. Yes. I mean, none of this is permanent. And it really just depends on where we end up lined up on the hexagon. So let's do what lines everything up better. So 42. That is not quite right because we're still kind of bleeding over. So it's less than that. 40. That seems right, even though we got some bleed over here. Hello. How's it going? Cobalt. Man with the master plan. Are you the man now? Kick, punch. It's all in the mind. If you're gonna test me, I'm sure you'll find. They beat me. But nevertheless, you're gonna from teacher now. Kick, kick. Punch, punch. Kick, punch, block. See. Okay. So we'll use this for the brace sprite for our. How do we export this as a sheet? Do we need to, because I need to split this out into its own set of grids. I guess what I could do is, that's what we'll do. Okay. See, I got to be able to automate this. This is what I'm wondering. Can I set up a script? Yeah, I'm all about this automation stuff, but that's the way my brain works. Now I know that I believe that Asprite supports that common programming language for games. What's it called? Oh, I didn't create these. I'm stealing these. I like them too. No, I'm stealing these for now. Just to get going. These are the ones from Tactics. So how many angles are we doing? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. My plan for the actual like character models in the game is that I'm going to model them in 3D and do 3D animations for them and then export them as sprites. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we got 5. Good. Delete this one, and this will be profile, side view. Or we got to give names to all these. Other side. And one more. So now if we have these sheets out and we were to export this, export sprite sheet by rows, can I preview it? Preview is down there. Splits layers. There we go. Okay. I'll put the file, and we're going to put this in our Godot folder, which is someplace, somewhere. Tactics. So yeah, I'm there's a lot that I'm doing right now that is just sort of all over the place. Anyone that's watching these streams is seeing like the brass tacks when it comes to actually making a game. That is for sure. So the data models we're going to keep separate from the actual but I suppose we could just throw it in here. That's the profile though. Assets, I don't know. Battle staging. So we probably should have an assets folder. Assets. Actors. And then there'll be a jobs. And then Squire. And then that's where this. Okay. So now if we go over to our project, a little bit of an import just happened there. And we should have an assets folder now. Here. Okay. So yeah. So now if we go to our data models, jobs, Squire, we should probably add on the job itself the animation stuff for the resource. So the way we're going to do that is we're going to load up the jobs code here. And we're going to say export resource. See, I don't know if this is the best way to do it. I think it's going to point to it. Var sprite eat sprites. We'll just call it sprites. And resource. So we define it to be a resource. Now if we open up Squire sprites, and then we can tell it specifically what we want it to be, which is a texture. I believe. No. What is it called for the? There's a way to do image. No, let's look it up. Godot exports GD script export. Script resource. There's a way to do specified resources by type. I think we use an enumerator or something. Yeah, there's enumerators for this. Export animation node will be okay. So if we get a list of our resources, there's going to be an image texture. So that's what we can tell it to be. That's a resource, right? Yes. So now we can say in here specifically image texture. Now if we go to the here, let's load something else up. And then this. There we go. So image texture might not be it though. That might be a little too brought down. The actor's job. Oh, it went into the wrong thing. There we go. Squire Mel. Now this is a stream texture. We're gonna go say stream texture. Stream texture. Okay, so now if we go back to the job of Squire and quick load, we'll see here now we've got a nice filtered list for us automatically based off of that that thing, that restriction. Sprites. And did I do something wrong? Is it not being set? What am I doing wrong? What's it mad about? Close. Don't save. Wire. Quick load. Maybe that's too restrictive too. Texture based on image. Is it just straight up texture? Am I being too restrictive? Texture. Quick load. Back. Maybe because I'm saying like if I did this, and then we go back here and again. Let's not define the type at all. You know what? I'm going to reload the project. Because this stuff happens all the time with Godot when you start messing around with tools and stuff. And job is set as tool. So we're good on that. Load it up again. In our data models, jobs, job. Squad. Quick load. Ah, there we go. Okay, so it is something to do with, so we should be able to say stream texture. Right. Let's go back over here, load this up. And quick load. Assets. There we go. Okay. See, every time. Works all the time, most of the time. Let's clear this out. And we'll reload the project one more time, because I just want to make sure this is really working now. And bring the project. Why Godot always opens on the primary window is beyond me. Wish you could change that. So data models, jobs, job, wire, and sprites, quick load. Okay. So we're good. All right. Everything's taking a little bit longer than I'd like today. But whatever. How long are we going? 2 hours. All these things, it's like, oh, this will be like 5 seconds, 2 hours, or an hour. But I haven't been streaming nearly as much as I have liked. These last 3 days I haven't streamed. So I have been doing a tiny little bit of work off stream. I'm definitely learning a ton of the minutia. A ton of it. So much of it. So much. Okay. This, by the way, these code blocks, the snippets, this is life-changing. I'm going to be writing those for all kinds of stuff, even ifs. Because, like, if I do an if statement right now, if there's a code block for if. See? This is good to know about. So now I can even identify. So is there a for code block? There is a for code block. Test in. Holy smokes. Set get. Oh my gosh. I wish I had known about that stuff sooner. There should be an elif code block. We'll add an elif code block. What other kinds of for an arrange? Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Okay. Sorry. Some people must be watching going like, what the hell is he talking about? Why is he excited? Okay, now we can finally go back to what it was I was doing. So the reason why we need that is because in our battle staging area here, when we select the character, we need to load up the sprite that we're going to show for placement. So we need to have a reference to that somewhere. So one thing I'd like to do as well is if we go over to the data models, jobs, job, and this really shouldn't be in here because this is the model strictly. The resource itself should be in data. So let's move that now before we start having heartaches of doing this later. So create a new folder and call it jobs for data, and we'll move Squire into there. Okay, so now Squire's where it should be. So this is all the game data, right? The models specify some strictness to it. Like it should look like this or whatever, right? But the data itself that we're saving based off the modeled structure is going to go here in this folder. So now is this going to break the game? Let's see. No, it knows that we moved it. Good. So, out of curiosity, I wonder how messed up our project looks in source control now. Oh my god. Okay, well, we did a lot of changes today. So that's okay. So I can't feel too bad because there's been a lot that's been going on. So I can't feel too bad. The other thing we're gonna do is move the inside of the data models. There's another piece thing of here, the assets. This thing, this should not be here. So we're gonna rename this to Squire profile, and we're gonna move that into assets as well. Up here, get rid of this. We're doing some project cleanup. Our structure, and this will go into Squire. Okay, it's another git change right there. But yeah, structures. I'm happy with. The project's not getting out of control. I'm happy. I'll say it. I'm very happy with this. Doing lots of cleanup. That was the other one. Can I delete this? No, not yet. We will though. We will soon, my friend. Soon. So we've got to get the selection thing going here, and I was trying to use some built-in methods, using some built-in GUI container stuff, but I'm thinking that we're gonna have to make some of our own. Now it won't be a custom control. It will be. I guess we'll do it with a tween. So what we'll do is, but how do we tween it in? See, this is where we just rip all this out. Center container. This is like a spacer, isn't it? Yeah, because now it's all big and tall. One way to trick it. See, the scroll bar. I mean, we could override the theme and hide the scroll bar. But we just can't do. I don't know. We can't do it the way I want to do it. So let's look at the actor scene that we have. And what I'd like to do is just animate this so that these two sides separate, pull apart, and then pull back in. So presently we're in this HBox container. Now what we could do is we've got this margin container. Okay, so that pushes us to center. Size flags. I don't know what this is. Feels like we're going out to infinity. Why is this way up here? Pivot offset. That was weird. So I don't know why there's red lines. Not sure about that. And I'm not sure why we're off to the side when we're centered. I mean, is it considering this part here center? Bottom right. No, that's not it. Go back to this. Doesn't know what it's talking about. Attach a script here to actor. Save. Okay, so we're still the same. But we're spaced evenly now. And why? But we have the center container. So what do we have in center? Nothing. Use top left. That's more centered. That's actually centered, but we're not centered to be centered on. If that makes any sense. So why is that? Margin. Size flags. So much of this I just don't understand. So I'm trying to think of a way, if everything's in GUI, how do I animate separating some things and bringing them back together? I feel like it needs to be centered so that when the animation happens, it pushes away from the edges of the screen. So for instance, let me just try and make it happen. So if I was to add a margin container and we were to put this where it needs to be as a child, and then we go to theme overrides. Now we have these margins here. And then I can start to push out like this. So to me, doing something like this, we could push ourselves out of the scene. So basically we would take the size of the screen, of the viewport or whatever, and we would say, okay, whatever the width is, push that margin out, right? So now our character stats have completely disappeared. Because we made it enormous. But now our character stats would be pushed outside of the boundaries of the window. We would change the stats, and then we would tween them back in. So they come back in like this. So that's what I'd like to do. So, I mean, there's probably another way to do it without something called a margin container, but I feel like margin containers probably our best bet. Because it says it's just for margins, so we're just pushing the margins out. And we're doing it so that we're separating everything else. And I suppose then if this is what we're doing, let's make this apparent again. We'll put the actor scene in a center container on the other in the battle staging area. So let's just instance an actor. Well, here we got scroll container. We already have center container. Let's add a center container, another one. Okay, so this is where the actors will go. So the center container can be called actors. This is where it'll spawn. We're gonna get rid of all this. This is gonna start to break things if we get rid of too much of this. And let's instance actor. Okay. So still not centered the way I'd expect us to be centered. We're not the width of the scene either. So currently our project is set to 1024. We'll go 1024. We should be centered. We are now. Okay. So now we have this thing here that we're going to use. We're going to override the constants when we want to animate in and out. Animate. I don't know. I don't know what to call it. Stats. Margin. Okay. And we'll give it a unique scene name. And then what we'll do is we'll just set up a timer. Let's do it on ready. So when we load up the scene, it'll do it. So we got to look up tweener because I can never remember how to do this still. Scene tree tween. Here we go. We're going to create a tween. And we're going to set properties over time. And the property is going to be for our percent quote $stats margin. And what we're going to set is, this is where I don't know how to get to these things. Constants. We're going to go to constants, property right. Really doesn't matter which one we do. And it won't let us copy the property path. So there's a property path. And we're going to set it to the screen size, 1024. And we'll have it take 5-6 seconds. So it should happen in slow-mo. So now if we open the scene up. Are we a tool? We are a tool. Clean property. So we might not have the right property. And I seem to recall I figured out how to do this as well on the last streams, a couple streams ago. What were we doing that on? We were doing that on the actual actor scene. So if we go to Explorer, it wasn't here. Here we go. So the style box, add style override, panel, style. Now, how would you tween something like that? Let's look it up. Godot tween theme override. Yes, sweetie. I can get them for you, but you got to be really careful with them. Are you playing outside with somebody? You're just practicing. Okay. Hey, okay. All right, everybody. I'll be right back. I got to get something for my daughter. The message. Okay, sorry about that. So, you know, it seems like a lot of what I'm doing right now is kind of weird. Not really weird, but just sort of like, I don't know. It's just there's certain things I want to be able to do, and I'm trying to do them in the proper way. Like, I feel like if I'm gonna animate the, I don't know. I mean, should I have them be two separate things? Should they be? I mean, I can't. Can I put a node? Like, can I put a node 2D inside of a container? I can. And does it give a damn about that? Like, what is it? I mean, what is this? You know? So, but how do you animate? Let's just look up that. Godot animate GUI. Those are the input values in the animating UI with tweens.
Well, I'm going to be teaching you how to animate using tweens. So I'm animating UI specifically, and so there's one or a few properties you need to know. So
Yeah,
UI has the property where it inherits from the parent, and so if you were to change this to 40, and you add a node, it refreshes it and changes it back to 20. And let's do that with toggling visibility. This will also refresh and it changes back to 20. So to get past this is obviously doing minimum size. It overrides the parent's inherited properties.
I never watch videos like this.
If we were to add a button, wouldn't change it. So now that we have this at 40, let's add a label. So let's have this label say,
oh, that's dinner. I gotta go.
Added. Yay. So now that we centered up, and we could do this as a font too. But
okay, so he's kind of cheating, which I like. And he's specifically setting things like this. Right? To get some of that behavior that we're talking about. Now that won't work all the time because ultimately the firing of these containers is what determines their sizing, right? I don't even know how to describe what it is I'm talking about. Regardless, if I were to just put a container, like we could even do a center container. If I was to put a center container in here, and then we did this, that's the height. So then we can push things away like that. Those are properties I can talk to. So this could be stats. Can I do, wait a minute, can I do, isn't there a split? Yeah, hang on a second. Is split better? Because it kind of sounds like what I want to do anyways. Min size. Let's do that. Doesn't really matter what kind of container it is, I don't think. So long as... I'll be there in a second, Trish. So long as it's... Okay, so then we're going to say... now we can copy the property path here. of the min size. This should work. Correct min size. Now, if we were to load the actor, type mismatch between property and tween value. Vec2. Okay, so it needs to be a vec2. So vector2, comma 0. Load. There we go. Now, obviously it needs to be centered. So now if we go to battle staging, it already happened. So let's go back over here, open up game, battle staging. Oh, but see, it's saving it as the scene because I saved this. And it's a min. That's really dangerous. This is dangerous. All right, there we go. This is what we want. We don't want to get stuck on the side here, though. So our VBox container needs to have enough room on the outer sides to break free. And there's probably something about a container I don't know about that will help with that. So the entire control needs to be beyond the bounds of the screen like this, right? On both sides. And then we'll be able to break free and we can animate it like that and push it in and out. Now, if I want to do some crazy movement stuff, I do think that the UI, the control elements need to be entirely separate from everything. And I kind of don't like that. But I guess if I had... I just don't know. I don't know. Something about this doesn't seem right to me. But we're going to end the stream here. Thank you everyone for hanging out. I hope you're doing good. And I guess we could try and raid somebody really quick. Let's go over to Twitch and find someone. And then just want to wish you all well. And I hope you have a good night. So let's see.
Look at this dude.
We'll go over to games. Search Godot. Somebody doing something. Obsidian's still going. So we're going to raid Obsidian. Let's find him. Get him in there. All right, guys. Much love. And all that stuff. Let me get that. Have a good night. Raid Obsidian. Is that not going to work? Did it not like that? I don't think it liked it. Slash raid. You already have a raid in progress. Okay, apparently I have a raid in progress. But how do I actually initiate the raid?
Wow, not cesspool.
How do I do the raid?
Excel, comma, radius.
Alright, here we go.
Okay, so with
Oh, I have the
this
be right
call-
back on. That's embarrassing.
Mwah. If region resource
Alright, see you guys.
not equal null pass. Well,